Hello everyone, my name is Arkady Kistanov. I am the founder of Ktool Sailing Analytics software. I am the world champion, multiple World Cup medalist in fin class, coach of the 29er World Champions. I am specialist in foiling boats and ambassador of data-driven approach to sailing. I believe a lot of sailors missing the priorities while campaigning in Olympic cycle or trying to reach their goal in amateur classes. And today I'm trying to close this gap and educate people about what is really important. We are producing Ktool software, which is helping people to analyze their sailing data and understand what is really important. And it helps you to find the bits of information which is really important for your improvement. Today I want to break down how much actually the sailing day of the sailor preparing for the Olympics cost. And I really hope that it will help you to understand what is really important and what is not so important when you're trying to reach your goal. For example, today I decided to break down the costs for ILCA 7 sailor because it is the most popular and cheapest Olympic class we have now. Before we start, we have to do some assumptions. So I decided that our sailor based on Garda Lake. It's more or less center of the Europe, and it's amazing sailing place. And a lot of great sailors like Robert Scheidt and Paul Goodisy decided to live here to keep this place as a base, as their sailing base. Our sailor take part in all the major events in Europe, but we are not traveling to United States for the World Cup because it's too expensive. It's simply too expensive. And we are optimizing our costs. So we train and travel in group of 3 sailors with coach, and we share costs between us. We already have a van and a trailer and motorboat, so we don't have to buy one. Yeah, we are selling our old boat in the end of the season, and we buy a new one. So we put the amortization of the boat in our budget. Now let's go to our calendar. So we start with a few training camps in Vilamura in January and February. We ending our Vilamura period with regatta, which is organized by a local race committee. Then we go to Mallorca for Trofeo Safir regatta. Before that, we are doing a training camp and Mallorca Sailing Center regatta. Yes, after Trofeo Safir, we move to Hires for Semani Olympique Français. Then we go to Croatia in Castella for training camp and Europeans, followed by Dutch Water Week early June and Kiel Week in the end of June. And this is the end of the first half of our season. Yes, then we move to Riva, to Garda Lake. We do training camp there. And in the end of July, we are moving to Ireland for a training block and the World Championship in the end of August. After World Championship, we are coming back to our base. We do short training camp, national championship, whatever it is. And we go for 3 weeks of rest after season. Yeah, it's late of September, early October. We do 3 weeks of rest, after which we start our local training again. We do training camp in the end of October, and we move to Vilamura again in November. We start with Vilamura Grand Prix the last weekend of November, and we have another training camp before Christmas in December. In total, we have 224 days dedicated for sailing in a year, 191 actual planned sailing day, which is kind of a lot, but not the maximum. Some Olympic sailors aiming to do up to 220 days sailing days in a year, but it is very difficult. Yes, we have 178 days outside of our home, so outside of Garda Lake, and we have 28 flights planned. We think that someone else is driving our trailer, maybe us, but it's not changing the picture in general. Okay, let's go down to our costs. Let's first start with our car logistic. We go to Vilamura, Mallorca, Hires, Croatia, Kiel, Ribes del Garda, then from Garda Lake to Ireland and back, and finally we're coming back from Garda to Vilamura in November. In total, this is how much distance on every part of our travel, ferries, total price of fuel, of tolls, at the end, we have 7,248 euros accounted for our travel, which is 2,416 euros for one sailor. I remember you were in group of 3. We have 28 flights in total for every sailor, which I accounted around 150 euros per flight, which I believe a pretty good average cost, which end up in 4,200 euros for flights per sailor. Entry fees, we have 3 trainings regatta, 2 in Vilamura, 1 Mallorca Sailing Center, which is 150 euro entry fee per regatta. We have 4 World Cups with 400 euro entries, on which is 1,600. We have Europeans, which is 400 as well. Worlds, the official entry fee is, I believe, around 500, but you also have to, you are obliged to charter a boat for 1,000, so it's 1,500 in total. National championship probably around 150, and extra regattas, probably we have some coach regattas or whatever, 150. In total, 4,250 euros for entry fees for one sailor. Parkings, I believe every time we are not at home, we are outside home, we have to pay a parking, boat parking. So I multiplied 178 days multiplied by 10 euros. So in reality, we have less days because we have a lot of regattas, but at the same time, the average price is higher than 10 euros now. I'm not sure about Spain, to be honest, but I know that in Vilamura and on Garda Lake, the price is from 15 to 20 euros or something like that. So I just counted 178, and this is 1,780 euros in total. And car plus trailer is probably around 10 euros per day. So for one sailor, it's going to be around 3 euros per day, which is 900 euros in total per year, if we count 300 days, more or less. Boat maintaining, so we're sailing 190 days, which is, I calculated to have 6 ILCA sails, and it means that we're sailing more than 30 days with one sail, which is actually quite tough, because I believe ILCA sail is dead after like 10-15 days of sailing, but let's account 30 days, so we're not sailing the sail after the 30 days, we're just wasting it. So 6 sails, 660 euros per sail, around 4,000 euro for the sails in a year. Ropes, blocks replacement, 600 euro a year. Boat repairs, we're probably going to have some scratches or whatever, 300 euros a year. One new mast a year is, I believe, must have 800 euros. And boat amortization, it is actually replacement I was talking about before, is 2,000. So we are thinking that we were selling the boat in the end of season and buying a new one, and the difference between this is 2,000 euro. So in total, boat maintaining is cost us 7,660 euros. Yes, equipment, I mean the wearing, hiking pants, 3 pairs of hiking pants, 3 lycras, 1 jacket, 2 shoes, something else, 1,990 in total for a year, probably slightly more. Now coming to the most expensive part, coach. So this is quite realistic numbers. I know 400 euros a day for a good Olympic coach is cheap. Normally coaches cost more. Let's say we are not sailing always with a coach, but we spend 150 days a year with coach, which is 60,000 for the coach salary at the end. Flights for coach, let's say he's flying a bit less than us, the same, 150 euros per flight, 20 times 3,000. Accommodation plus food is 125 euro a day for 150 days, 18,750. Gasoline for RIP, let's say we spent around 15 liters per day, which is 30 euros for 140 days. So sail coaches with us for 150 days, but we are not sailing all the days. Let's say 140, which is coming to 4,200. RIP parking, so while RIP is in the water, we have to pay for it, 10 euros per 140 days, which is 1,400 in total, RIPS service, insurance, etc. 500 per year, which is at the end coach cost us 87,850 euros for 3 people, for 3 sailors a year, which is approximately 29,280 euros for sailor per year. Now the same breakdown for the sailor. Accommodation 70 euro per day, food 50 euro per day, sport, nutrition 12 months, and gym 12 months. Yeah, in total expenses for sailor, if he's very democratic, is 26,000 per year. So here are our assumptions again. We already have a RIP, car and trailer, and we don't want to change it or sell it. We have a boat. We replace the boat time to time, selling our old one and buying new one. We don't sell sails. We use it until they're dead. We're traveling in a group of 3 people and share the costs. And total costs for us for the year are around 78,500 euro, which is cheap. For Olympic sailing, it is cheap, which means that one of our sailing day costs roughly 411 euros. If we have less sailing days, the price of our sailing day is growing up. If we have more sailing days, it is becoming slightly cheaper. But approximate number you have to count on is 400 euros per day if you are sailing Ilka in a group of 3 sailors and you are doing the full preparation. What does it mean for us? First, every sailing day you miss because you are sick, injured, or your boat is not ready costs you a lot. So taking care of your body and your equipment is not optional, it's a part of performance. Second, when you already spent many days on the water, simply adding more sailing day is always difficult and not always efficient. You get less recovery, more fatigue, and every extra day gives you a smaller return. So the real question becomes, how do you get more from the days you already have? That's exactly where Ktool helps. With Ktool, you can clearly see your biggest growth points, understand what to focus on next, and make every session more intentional. A sailor should always know why they are going on the water, what they need to work on today, and how they actually performed after the session. Ktool helps you to get maximum value from every sailing day. And this matters even more when sailing time is extremely expensive. In projects like SailGP and America's Cup, every minute on the water costs a huge amount of money. In that environment, improvement depends not only on sailing more, but on preparing better and analyzing more on shore. That's where Ktool becoming extremely powerful. Third, if you can buy speed, buy it. Sometimes it is cheaper to become faster by buying the right sail, the right mast setup, or right equipment upgrade than by spending another 5 days on the water. The same applies to any smart performance investment. Cheap equipment is not always cheaper if it makes you slow. In the end, performance is not about spending more. It's about getting more from every dollar, every session, and every minute on the water. If you have your own thoughts about the price of the sailing day, write them in the comments.